What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Formula America podcast. We're your hosts, Kurt and Dylan. And after a kind of much needed break, I think, after the triple header, we're going to Miami, man.
Yeah. And you ask any real racer, especially European ones, they will tell you that their favorite spectacle is definitely Miami. LL Cool J, cheerleaders, fireworks.
The track is top notch.
They love how over the top it is, I think.
If you can't sense the sarcasm there, I don't think this is anybody's favorite track except for the Miami people who know nothing about Formula One but go here once a year.
I think we could probably argue this is most of the racers' least favorite track.
Least favorite. And you know what? Even if the track was good, I think that the whole thing with LL Cool J the first year tainted it for everybody when he's calling him out like it's a WWE fight or something like that.
Lance Stroll. I bet Lance Stroll liked it.
Oh yeah, Logan Sargent. He would have. Well, I guess he was here last year. But yeah, so the track's not known as being the best. It's actually in the parking lot of the Miami Dolphins football stadium. The track surface has led a ton of controversy. They've resurfaced it, and it still wasn't good and too slippery, and the racing's not that exciting. But to make up for the lack of excitement, we get a sprint weekend. Hey guys, want to break in and let you guys know about some exciting news. So our long-term listeners will know that Dylan and I actually met in the military. That's where our friendship started. And this year, I was actually chosen to run the New York City Marathon with this awesome organization called TAPS. It's the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. It's a great organization that helps provide support for families of fallen service members. So as part of it, we are attempting to raise some money for this organization. I've set a $4,000 goal that we're trying to raise. And so I'm asking if anybody has the ability to donate anything, no matter how small it is. I would greatly appreciate it. I will leave a link in the description of the podcast. And also, if you go to our Instagram, Formula_America, go to our link tree in the bio, and there'll also be a link to the page there as well. Like I said, any amount that you guys can donate, if you can. If not, no big deal. I appreciate you guys for listening to the show anyways. And let's get back to the show. So There's that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I was reading over the Pirelli newsroom report of like the track and tires and all that stuff. And even that's pretty boring. It's, basically it was like, it's the softest tire lineup. The track is crazy smooth. It was resurfaced in 2023. It's the same since. There's no longitudinal or latitude forces really at all on the tires. Thermal deg is the only thing you have to worry about because Miami is hot and it is almost always a one stopper. And there's almost no performance difference between the tires. Last year, the averages, the hard went for 26 laps, the mediums went for 22 laps, and the softs went for 20 laps.
Golly.
So it's basically like they're going to drive around it and they have to use 2 tire compounds. And so they're going to stop once. And here we are.
They're like, just pray for a safety car. Which, we don't have Logan Sargent this year. He caused it last year. So now we got to hope that Lance Stroll comes through.
Yeah, he usually does for us. He started the year off doing really well. And now we're kind of settling into the Stroll we all know and love.
Well, I think he remembered who he was. He was like, wait a second, something's off.
I'm scoring points right now. What is this?
What's wrong with me? Who am I?
Still exiting in Q1 though.
So before we get into it though, have you seen what's going on with Cadillac this weekend?
I've seen more posts than I can count saying that Checo signed with Cadillac, and I'm getting sick of all of the media that has no backup. And I say that and they're going to announce that Checo's probably the driver or something, but
Cadillac Formula One team has a huge launch event, or not launch event. I say it's a huge event where I guess it is kind of a launch event. They're going to show their car and all that for next year. And some internet sleuths have been tracking Checo Perez's plane and actually found the flight data where the plane went to Miami, like I think 2 days ago. And so Checo Perez at least went to Miami, and they're putting one and two together and saying that Checo Perez Cadillac launch event, Checo's the new driver for Cadillac, which I mean, it
wouldn't be a bad choice.
No, and it makes sense. I mean, you and I saw firsthand how big Checo's presence was in Mexico. I think from a business standpoint, that'd be a huge win for Cadillac.
It would.
They're an American team. Mexico's in the Americas. They get all that fan base. It would be awesome. And he's a somewhat solid driver anyways. So, I mean, it's not a bad move in my opinion.
You're not going to pull Max, Leclerc, Lewis, or anybody else over there. Checo's a wonderful choice, I think, for that.
Yep.
I wish Internet Sleuths would track my plane.
Yeah, well, you got to have one
Yeah,
first.
that's part of the problem. That'd be a good problem to have, I feel like.
Like, damn it, how does everybody know?
The Formula America podcast plane would be legit. All right. I'm thinking like Austin Powers jumbo jet style.
Oh, yeah, right. It'd be made out of cardboard. It'd be like at those Red Bull events where they fly. Yeah.
But that'll be really interesting. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they announced him. Who's going to be number 2?
Well, I think from what Michael Andretti was saying is that he would like to have an American driver. I think Colton Herta is one of the top runners for that, but also there's been rumors of other people going there as well. One of the more crazy ones was George Russell, which I don't see that. But
all the stuff floating around that Max is going to go to Mercedes, I think is super interesting. And
I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
I think it's, yeah, I don't see it going anywhere. And then you also have Helmut Marko in the background making comments about it, which is just always entertaining. Anytime you see a quote and it says Helmut Marko in the bottom of it, you're like, oh yeah, I'm reading this.
Yeah. Helmut Marko and Ralph Schumacher, I feel, is on the same level. Somebody needs to get those two together in the same room and just hear all the crazy conspiracies that come out of that.
And then to have Damon Hill on the sidelines going, nuh-uh, Max is mean.
Oh, man. Anyways, going to Miami.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about here. It's Miami. Like it's going to be a spectacle and a half, and I'm not expecting a lot from the racing other than will Lando repeat his debut win here? I think is the question.
We'll see when we get to the predictions. I think it's going to be a good one. I think that this is, I know I said it about the last one. Lando's at that kind of tipping point where it could go either way. And I think that if he starts to lose too much momentum, it could really turn out bad for him. Luckily last race, it started off really poorly, but I think he finished really strong in the race. So I think he's kind of hopefully on a high.
I think he's going to ebb and flow. I think that he puts a ton of pressure on himself and his performance ebbs. And then he takes a deep breath, realizes it's not that deep, and his performance ratchets it back up again. And so I think it's going to probably be continually an ebb and flow.
The crazy part is Oscar doesn't ebb. He only flows.
That's ice cold flow.
So while Lando's going up and down, Oscar's just steadily right there. So he's got to figure that out. But
yeah.
Speaking of the spectacle, though, there have been, I think Ferrari confirmed they're going to have a new livery, a one-off, which they haven't posted yet. I just saw Stake has officially shown their new livery, which looks pretty cool. It's like a carbon fiber car with green paint just like dumped all over it, which looks pretty cool, I think. And I heard there's going to be some other ones too. So hopefully they'll be showing those soon.
Got to do something to make it more fun.
As I say, that's kind of like the only exciting part of this. We might get some rain on Sunday too, apparently.
I'd be cool with that. With how slick this surface is, it would be,
oh my God,
absolute chaos. So I'm totally cool with rain helping out here.
Hopefully that'll happen. I saw the weather is going to be up to like 86 degrees or something like that, which is
they said track temp would be 110.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, thermal deg on the tires is definitely an issue, but the track is so smooth. I don't think it's going to be a one-stopper unless something crazy happens.
Yeah, well, also don't forget that we have 2 sides of our predictions here because we're going to have to do the sprint race as well.
I know. I hate these.
I know the sprint race just adds so much more to it, but I think I'm actually in the lead, so I'm excited.
You're up by 1 point.
Because this is a good opportunity for me to take off with it and really just turn that screw a little bit.
In our 3 years together of doing this, I don't think you've ever led. This is the first time. You're like Lando Norris.
Yeah, you see, I'm a late bloomer.
That's all right. I'll pick being Oscar Piastri. Although you are kicking my butt in fantasy.
I am. All right. Well, you want to get into these predictions then?
Sure.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll start with the sprint race. Pole position for the sprint race. I am going to go with Mr. Supermax. I think that he's it's the first time I think I've put him on pole this year.
I think it is as well. I'm impressed, and I actually pulled a Kurt, and I went with Lando Norris.
All right. P3 for the sprint race. I have cold as ice, Mr. Oscar Piastri.
Down in P3. I'm excited to see you got Norris and then probably Verstappen, I'm guessing. I've got Max Verstappen in P3.
Oh, man. See, I was starting to put him down lower, and then I don't think I can after seeing what happened last race, as much as I counted him out. And then I told you my buddy called and was like yelling at me, and it really it put off a light bulb. And I was like, you know what? I can't count this guy out anymore.
Can't.
So
the question is, it's almost like Mercedes. It's like, is the car going to show up?
Right. Yeah. How much is that car going to show up? And the more the car shows up, the higher he's going to be.
Yep. That's exactly right. So who do you have in P2?
P2, I went with my boy Lando Norris. P2.
Right, I've got Piastri. We're going to have a different podium. I'm excited. Usually we have some overlap. I got Piastri.
All right. P1, Supermax again.
And I've got Norris. Did we switch? Is this face off? Can I be John Travolta if this is? But
oh man. Well, we'll see when we get to the actual race.
Yeah.
All right. So, but before we do that, wild card for the sprint, I have that in this sprint, which I don't know how many laps it is, probably like 20 laps or something.
Oh no, the sprint race.
I'm sorry. Yeah. The sprint race, I have that there will be a red flag.
Okay, I went along the same lines, but slightly different. I've got at least 4 DNFs.
Golly, that's a lot in a sprint race. That'll cause a red flag.
Yeah, there's your red flag. So we might both win. Yours is probably more likely than mine, but I went at least 4 DNFs. And I'm throwing at least in there. I'm not going to be held to, you only said 4 and there were 7, all right?
Dude, if there was 7, 4 is already a lot for a sprint race, so we'll see.
Hey,
all right, moving on.
Don't you sell Lance Stroll short, okay?
He has the opportunity to take out 4 people on his own, so you're right.
And then blame them as he rear
rear
ends Danny Ricciardo going into a turn and says, Danny, brake checked him.
I don't know. Randomly earlier today, I was on, I think, Instagram, and it was showing a clip of Lance Stroll and Lewis Hamilton like 2 years ago. And Lewis is all the way on the outside. Yeah, Lewis is all the way on the outside. Lance almost hits him, and then he's like, oh, this guy thinks he owns the track. He literally could not go over any farther. He can't pull over any farther. This guy is, anyways.
I saw that same one, was like, I love it. I love it.
Oh, the sport is not going to be the same when he leaves.
They need to allow Aston Martin to have a third seat, the third car, just to keep Lance in there. Give him 2 real drivers, but leave Lance, please, just for the entertainment.
One day we're going to look back with fond memories of the times when we had Lance Stroll and Nicholas Latifi on the track at the same time.
Speaking of people that open their mouth and it doesn't go well for them, did you see Kyle Larson, the NASCAR driver at Indy?
Oh, when he put it into the wall?
Yeah, hard. Just
it was like, oh, he says he's better than Max Verstappen. Can't make a left turn.
Can't make a left turn in an Indy car, let alone an F1 car. I thought that was hilarious. I would like to see his formal NASCAR apology. And I'm picturing that episode of South Park where Cartman's in NASCAR.
I think that's the showdown that everybody wants to see. They need to get those guys in like a Netflix spinoff series and get them together in something. I don't know what it is, but I want to see them race.
I love that. I think the one that sums it up best, and then I'll stop derailing the conversation, is that one, that meme with John Hamm, and I don't remember who he's talking to, but the guy's like, I pity you. And John Hamm turns to him and goes, I don't even think about you.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's the best comeback ever. And that's, Kyle Larson's like, I'm better than Max. And Max is like, who's Kyle Larson? I don't.
What does he drive?
Yeah. So anyway, the GP Grand Prix predictions here.
All right. Paul, who do you got?
Piastri.
Okay. Lando Norris is going to take pole for the GP.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
All right. Who do you have in P3?
P3, I went with Mr. Charles Leclerc.
I did too, actually.
Oh, I thought we were going to have separate.
I did. I was about to say it too. I was like, I went a little wild on this podium, so I'm pretty excited. I got Leclerc.
All right. Who do you got in 2?
Russell.
Wow. Okay. I do not. I have Russell anywhere on here. I have Max Verstappen P2.
P1. Piastri wins it.
Wow. Lando Norris. So we got the one overlap.
I got
that. Lando. I actually have a repeat of last year's podium. Norris, Verstappen, Leclerc.
Huh. Sure do. What's your wild card?
My wild card is, I think this one might be as wild as your 4 DNFs. My wild card is that Fernando Alonso will score his first points of the season.
It cracks me up that we go down the same trains of thought. I've got that doo-doo hands doing will score points this race.
Whoa. Those are both pretty outlandish.
Yeah, I'm swinging for the fences here.
It's going to take a lot for either one of those to happen, I think. Alonso's already come out and talked about how bad that car is, and doo-doo hands is just doo-doo hands.
Well, this could be doo-doo hands' last race, so I'm hoping. I'm kind of putting it out there. He's gonna score a point, and it's gonna make it really hard on Alpine to throw him out of the car. Although I do also really like Colapinto. I'd love to see him back in a Formula One car, but I don't think they're doing right. Doing right.
They're not doing right. Doing's being done wrong.
He's being done. Doing it the best doing can do it. And so I'm rooting for him a little bit here, just to give himself a shot and to mess with Alpine.
I would like to see that. Earlier in the season, he was doing pretty well. He had a tough one last time, but
he's a rookie.
I know.
He's allowed to have a tough one. Did you
Liam
see
Lawson, on the other hand?
He had a pretty good race last time. Did you see James Vowles and Alex Albon got to ride in the Blue Angel F18s?
No, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, super jelly of that.
That is my dream. Number one on my bucket list, and all these Formula One drivers get to do it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I'm going to be the typical American here. You see them riding like the British Royal Air Force and their planes. There is not many things cooler looking than an F-18.
No, especially when it's painted that bright blue with the yellow on there.
It's just badass looking, and it is one of the best jets built of all time. Like, it's still in service for a reason. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was weird. Sainz was nowhere in the photo shoot. Like, Sainz was not present. It was Vowles and Albon, which I thought was interesting.
Just a little mandate.
Yeah.
Just going out on a little lunch date. All right. Well, that's let's see. What do we got? I think we have a 4:00 race time on the East Coast here this Sunday for the Sunday race, which is getting up. That's like, I guess they pushed it back an hour because that's kind of getting towards the tail end of the heat of the day.
That's what's super weird, because here in Central Texas, like 3 to 5 o'clock is by far the hottest part of the day. By far. Like, it's like, man, I thought you pushed it into the hotter part of the day.
Well, they got the sea breeze out there too, so help them out a little bit.
Yeah, race is at 3, quali's at 3, sprint is at 11 a.m., sprint quali's at 3:30. Sprint quali is from 3:30 to 4:14.
Ah,
interesting. And
couldn't go to 4:15.
Yep, the one practice is at 11:30. So.
All right, so just as a quick update,
has your car collection in the back grown? I see a Mercedes back there. I know you've had the Red Bull. When did you get the Mercedes? Look at that.
So I got the Ferrari, the McLaren, and the Mercedes, and the Red Bull, the Lego cars. I got them a while ago. I just put them together, though.
Nice. I'm super jealous.
For all the audio viewers, they can't see that.
I would totally sit there and drink a beer and put Lego F1 cars together. That sounds like an awesome Saturday afternoon.
Basically what I did, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, you're going to give us an update. I catch you.
Yep, before we get out of here, the update on the Fantasy League. It's Friday, then it's Saturday. Is still in number 1, leading by 40 points over Providence Racing. Advan Taj Max is in 3rd. I'm all the way down in P6. And Dylan is in P11, moving up.
Moving up in the world. I'm a late bloomer, all right?
That'll happen.
Although it's Friday, then it's Saturday. I'm going to call you out a little bit. I don't know how you have triple DRS on Norris and double DRS on Albon.
He actually messaged us on Instagram, and it's pretty simple.
Oh, shit.
Apparently, it's just like a stock feature that you can go and anybody can do it.
All right. I'll have to keep that in mind then.
So thank you for reaching out on Instagram.
I'll eat my words. Thank you, Hunter Robbins. You're winning fair and square, and I'll shut up.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that podcast. If you do, make sure you like this podcast. Leave a review if you can. Share it with a friend. We've actually been getting some good growth lately, so that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
And other than that, make sure and follow us on Instagram, Formula_America, Formula America on YouTube. And I think that might be it, Dylan. You got anything else?
No.
Love the contemplation. You're like, do I have anything else?
It's not going to be LL Cool J this year. Who do you think's going to announce everyone?
I'm going to go with who's somebody newer that's kind of
Tay is. We have T Swizzle there.
Get the hell out of here. Taylor Swift will not be doing it. You know what? I'm going to go with like a Miami icon. Well, actually, Gloria Estefan did it last year, didn't she? Wasn't she there?
I think so.
I'm going to go with J-Lo. It'll be J-Lo.
J-Lo?
J-Lo will be there. Pitbull's always going to be there anytime there's anything in Miami.
Yeah.
He'll be around there somewhere, but I'm going to go with J-Lo.
All right.
Maybe DJ Khaled. That might be fun.
I'm not a big DJ Khaled fan.
Oh, my God. All right. Say your part.
Stay classy, America.
We'll see you next time. Sweating now.